Hello everyone, welcome back. In the last class, we discussed how can we collect data from Twitter. In this class, we would learn how can we do some simple operations to get a better insight into the data which we have collected. For this, we will use NLTK, which is a famous natural language processing library which would allow us to do string operations on the data which we have collected. We'll also be using some support libraries like counters to count different items and matplotlib to make graphs. To start with, we would read the tweets about Serum Institute fire which we collected in our last tweet. For this, we are again using the JSON library, and as you can see, we have total 150 tweets about Serum Institute. Now, to get a better insight of what these tweets possess, let's look at the most common words present. The first step to look at the most common word is break these tweets into the tokens of words itself. For that, we would use the word tokenizer present in NLTK. So, NLTK.tokenizer.word tokenizer, if you pass it a string, it would break it, it would return a list of strings where each string would be the individual token present in the previous string. This is example. So, this is comma PSOSAM breaks into different tokens. To do this for all our tweets, we loop over all our tweets, pass them through the word tokenizer and add all of them into a one single large list. So, we can get a list of all the tokens present in our data. Now, we pass it through the collections.counter, which would essentially give a count of all the unique tokens which are present in our data. And let's look at the top 25 most occurring tokens. Now, if you see here, we see some useful words like Serum, Institute, India. However, there is a lot of noise here. There is a lot of punctuations, there are stop words. You also see repetitions. You see two occurrences of fire and fire here where one is capitalized, other is not. So, to standardize it, let's start taking some steps and see if we can clean this data to get a better picture of what is going on in this data. Because right now we get some hints, but we are not sure what are these tweets about. So, first thing, to solve the problem of fire and these kind of instances, let's lowercase our entire data. So, we do not have capitalization problems. For this, I am using string.lower, a Python standard function. We lowercase all the strings which are present in our data, and then again let's look at the most common 25 words. And now you see the totals have changed. So, initially capital fire was 28 and small fire was 65. Now, there is only one occurrence of fire at 93. It has also changed for many other words, like for serum it is now 113, whereas previously it was only 110. So, lowercasing helped us a bit, but we still see a lot of punctuation marks and a lot of words which are not helpful. Let's go further and remove the punctuation marks like colon and commas and full stop, because of course they do not tell us anything about what's the topic which is being talked about. For that, string.punctuations in Python has a standardized list of punctuation marks in English. We would use the translate function from string library in Python to replace these punctuations, to essentially delete those punctuation out of our tweets. So, we delete all these punctuations and we again let's look at the most common words. Now, we see a much better picture. Now, we can see things like the Serum Institute, India, fire, vaccine, Pune. Pune is the place where Serum Institute is located. Though it is still not very great, we still see words like the, of, at and in, which are not adding a lot of information to us. We can still see some of these marks which does not come under the standard punctuation marks and are present. We see some null characters which are produced by the fact of deleting the punctuations. So, to get after this, we are going to do two steps. We are going to remove all the stop words present in our data. For doing that, There is a list of standard stop words in English language present in NLTK. You can access this list using nltk.corpus.stopwords and give language as English. You can do so for other languages also, and it would return a set of stop words which are present in English language. Now we iterate through a list of tokens and only use the words which are not in the set of stop words. And to further resolve the problem of the null character, punctuation marks which are left, and some other characters which are may not be caught in the stop words. So, words like RT, which is present in our data so much because for every retweet, Twitter would add an RT in the start. To make sure we can remove things like this, we are removing all the tokens which are of length less than 2. And once we do this, you would see we would get a much more clear picture of what is present. We see Serum Institute India, fire, vaccine, Pune, 5 lives lost. So, we see words in sequence like 5 life loss, Serum Institute India fire, we see distressing largest COVID-19, tragic incident, killed. This gives us a clear picture of, okay, there may be a fire at Serum Institute in Pune, there was 5 loss of lives, it's a distressing situation. We also see COVID-19 and vaccines, which shows us that there is a relation between vaccine and COVID-19 and Serum Institute. For those who don't know, Serum Institute is the largest vaccine producing institute in the country and is the one which is responsible for producing COVID-19 vaccines in India. So, what's looking at is in the start of it, where we had, if we were looking at most common tokens, where there was very less information, with the sequence of very simple string operations with the use of NLTK and string library, we can get a much better insight into what is available in our data, and that's the power of NLP and basic string operations. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.